Bent copper Andrew Talbot has been sentenced to 19 years in prison for stealing 4 kilograms of coke. That's what I'm talking about in this episode, people. It's just popped up in the news feed. He's actually just been sentenced Friday, the 18th of October. So this has just happened. It's in the headlines. The case actually happened in 2020, or it came to light in 2020, and it's obviously took this long for the investigation, and he's actually only just been sacked at the beginning of this year. Obviously, with the pending investigation, he's probably been suspended with full pay, and I'm not sure whether or not he'll have to pay that back, but he will have to pay proceeds of crime at the end of this case, or whilst he's in prison, because that's what happens. But getting into the case, if anyone hasn't seen it, Andrew Talbot, 54-year-old, is from, or he was, in the serious crime department. He was a detective that would have been investigating people and putting gangsters and criminals in prison for the type of thing that he's actually in prison for now. And he'll probably be in somewhere like Strangeways. So he wants to be watching his back from the Manchester gangsters, the ones that he's put inside of prison. Because I can tell you now, there'll be a lot of people wanting his blood inside of prison. So what happened for him to get caught was, if you haven't seen it, there is a video on Sky News. If you type his name up, go into Google search, you will see it. Andrew Talbot, or just put in police officer, 19 years, and you'll see the video. The school where his daughter goes to, he was dropping her off at school, and the school actually found a packet of sniff outside the school. So what they've done is go back over CCTV to see who had actually dropped it. And on the video, you can see him walking along the front of the school. It looks like a nursery, actually. And you can see the packet falling out of the back of his pants. When he pulls his hand out, the package falls out onto the floor. The school has given the CCTV to the police. They've traced it back to him, put him under investigation. And from 2018 up until 2020, for 2 years, he was stealing the sniff out of this the storage department inside the police station. So all the sniff that had been confiscated of the main guys or the main dealers down in Manchester and surrounding areas when there were serious organised crime gangs kicking around, and these officers were investigating those gangs, confiscating the stuff, and Mr. Talbot was helping himself to the confiscated storage. He got himself quite a bad addiction to the sniff. And what he started doing was he was researching on the police computer dealers in the local area, just low-level dealers. And he did come across somebody. And he approached him and asked him if he provided the gear, would he sell it for him? So they both teamed up. And obviously, this is what they were doing over a period of 2 years. Or that's what they could trace it to. Probably went on longer than that. But from the 2018 up until 2020, he's took 4 kilograms of coke. It's saying estimated at £400,000. Obviously, that's by the time it's been chopped up and sold into packets. But 4K doesn't come to 400 grand in wholesale value. But obviously, if it's been chopped up and sold on the street, that's what they're saying. But if that's what they've put it down to, he'll be getting hit with the big proceeds of crime. So that money that he might have been getting whilst he's been on suspension will have to be paid back, or he will serve longer in jail. So for that, he got 19 years. And he will have to serve half of that. And if he doesn't pay back the proceeds of crime, he'll have to serve a substantial amount on top of that. But being a copper, a bent copper in prison, he'll not want to serve one day longer than what is necessary. So he'll be trying everything to get that money paid for the proceeds of crime when he does get hit with it, because it's not if, it's when. Because anyone that goes into jail for supplying always gets hit with the proceeds of crime, and it's always a massive figure more than what was actually made. They sort of just pluck these figures out of the air, hit people with these proceeds of crime. But Andrew Talbot, the bent copper, will be getting hit with that. And like I mentioned, he'll have went into Strangeways prison, which is HMP Manchester, before he's moved on to another prison. Now, he will be Category B because of the length of sentence that he's getting, which will be anywhere that's close by. Could be anywhere like Garth, and what's the one? Salford, they've got Forest Bank. I'm not sure which one he'll be ending up in, but I can guarantee you, whichever one it is, he'll be on the VP wings, Vulnerable Prisoner Wing, the Bacon Wings, Nonce Wings, whatever you want to call them. Anyone that's familiar with Prison Army Channel, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He'll be on the Protection Wings for simply being a copper. And like I mentioned, with this being in Manchester and him being part of the serious investigation squad, he would have been doing investigations on the big players in Manchester, probably Liverpool as well, because they come hand in hand. Manchester, Liverpool normally do a lot of business together. So he will be responsible for putting quite a few high profile, but not so much high profile, but big time gangsters behind bars. So you can imagine if one of these clock him inside a prison, what's going to happen to him. Because them monks don't fuck about inside a jail if they've got a beef with someone like this, especially someone that's put them in prison. So imagine some copper that's had you under investigation, and you can just imagine the way he's probably been going on with them, put them inside a jail, then bum into them on the wing. This man is going to be in serious trouble, so he'll be put straight on protection. But again, just because he's on protection doesn't mean he won't be got at, because on protection, there's lads that have went from normal location that have actually run up drug debts, or there's a few different reasons why they do run off the normal landings down onto the Bacon Wings. So he could even bump into somebody down there that he's upset in the past, because he's worked on the force, the Manchester force, for 20 years. So imagine how many people he'll have pissed off in 20 years, and people obviously not knowing where he lives or anything like that. Now he's living amongst the criminals, the ones that he's probably put inside. So he will be in fear of attack throughout his sentence. But I just thought I would bring that to the attention, because obviously with it being headline news, I'm just having a look to see who the other fellow was as well, because it says that he also provided confidential police information to a friend under investigation for assault and to Bretherton. So Bretherton is obviously the lad who was supplying it for him. Not sure, don't know much about him, whether he was just a street level or what. But he obviously hasn't been given information to the big dogs. He's just been given information to someone who was under investigation for assault. So I don't think that's going to help much whilst he's in prison when he's getting assaulted himself, because that's exactly what happens to corrupt coppers. But I'm going to leave that one there for now, and I am going to be doing another video on corrupt coppers, or what happens to bent coppers inside of prison. So keep watching. That'll be the video after this. And if you are still enjoying the content, remember, people, to comment, more so like, because a lot of people aren't liking the videos and the algorithm isn't getting up as much. These videos should be getting a lot more views than what they are. But I'll just leave that one there for now, people. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.